What is going on, guys? It's Mattoon from America's Got Balls, and I just wanted to make a quick video highlighting every NBA free agent who has signed a contract so far. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first off we got Shaun Livingston, who of course agreed to stay with the Golden State Warriors on a 3-year, $24 million deal. And I think this is a really good deal for both sides. I mean, Shaun Livingston gets some money, and the Warriors get to keep their ever so important leader of that second unit. So next up we got Cristiano Felicio, who a lot of you may not have heard of. I mean, he plays for the Bulls, he's a backup big, showed up great in his second year last year, and with Taj Gibson out of the picture and the inconsistencies of Nikola Mirotic, he should be getting a lot of playing time, and with the contract, it looks like the Bulls are putting a lot of faith in him. Alright, so we're going to be moving on to Patty Mills here, who signed a 4-year, $50 million deal to stay with the Spurs. And I think a lot of this is just the Spurs showing good faith to Patty Mills. I mean, he's been a very productive player for them off the bench, and gets a nice solid chunk of change to show for his work. So next up we got Tony Snell, who signed a 4-year, $46 million deal to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm not a fan of this contract. I mean, Tony Snell is a pretty average role player. He's just one of those guys who's not bad at anything, but he's not great at anything either. And I don't think that constitutes $46 million. Moving on, we got Jeff Teague, who of course is replacing Ricky Rubio as the point guard of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And for one, I'm really excited for what Tom Thibodeau has been able to accomplish this offseason. I mean, next year, watching Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, and Jeff Teague go to work is going to be a lot of fun, and they definitely have the talent to be a top 4 team in the West. Next up is Langston Galloway, who signed a 3-year, $21 million deal with the Detroit Pistons. For one, I don't see a lot in Langston Galloway. He's a solid bench scorer, but he doesn't provide much outside of that. After several teams tried to lure Andre Iguodala away from the Golden State Warriors, the Warriors and Iguodala eventually agreed to a 3-year, $48 million deal. And if nothing else, I think this just shows the Warriors' true commitment to winning, as seen by how deep they're willing to go into their pockets. Next up on the list is another guy you may have never heard of. His name is Joe Ingles, and he just signed a 4-year, $52 million deal to stay with the Jazz. Ingles is one of those guys who's not the most talented, not the most flashy, but he has an incredibly high basketball IQ, and he is constantly making the right play. Next up, we got Tom Thibodeau bringing another former Bulls player to his maybe former Bulls squad. Todd Gibson is going to be joining the Minnesota Timberwolves, and who knows, maybe Derrick Rose is next at this rate. Moving on through, we got PJ Tucker, who signed a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Houston Rockets. The Rockets really wanted Andre Iguodala, but sort of signed Tucker as a consolation prize. Of course, Tucker doesn't have that offensive versatility that Iguodala has, but he does bring that great defensive toughness that should help that Rocket squad out a lot. So now we're going to be moving into those really big money contracts, and what I consider a big money contract is $20 million plus. So Serge Ibaka is going to stay with the Raptors on a 3-year deal worth $65 million, and a lot of people said he was overpaid, but think about it this way. Name one other stretch 4 in the league that can shoot threes and protect the rim as well as Ibaka. Oh wait, as the Hawks have clearly entered that rebuilding mode, Paul Millsap opted to join a young up-and-coming Denver Nuggets team. I think this is a great move by Paul, as it adds a lot of entertainment, I'd say, in some of these monotonous regular season games. The Nuggets should be a lot more competitive, and the veteran presence of Millsap with those young guys like Jokic should help a lot. The Toronto Raptors really show that they're willing to do anything to keep their core intact. After signing DeMar DeRozan last year, Serge Ibaka this year, they once again saw Kyle Lowry to a 3-year, $100 million deal to keep that oh-so-precious nucleus together. Do I think JJ Redick is worth $23 million? Absolutely not. But the Philadelphia 76ers made an incredibly smart move here, ensuring that JJ's $23 million will come off the books for the 2018 offseason, in which they will have an astonishing $40 million to spend. That being said, I think this may be going down in NBA history as one of the highest paid contracts for a one-dimensional player. Next up is what I see as quite possibly the worst contract handed out in this new CBA era, as Jrue Holiday signed a 5-year, $126 million deal to stay with the Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans didn't really have a choice here. They didn't have any cap room, and without Holiday, they have DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis with no guard to handle the ball. So, they were kind of forced into this position, and I think they're going to pay for it massively. Next up is Blake Griffin, who signed a massive 5-year, $176 million deal with the Clippers. Now, what I like to call this is the quote-unquote mellow option. Blake Griffin opted to get a crap load of money as opposed to possibly going to a winning situation, much like Carmelo Anthony in New York. I'm personally a fan of Blake Griffin, and I really wish that he went somewhere where he could win. But hey, can't pass up $176 million, can ya? Lastly, but certainly as far from the least as you can get, Stephen Curry re-upped with the Golden State Warriors, signing a 5-year, $201 million deal. Now, this was really no surprise. We knew this was coming. We maybe thought he might have taken less than the Supermax, but in the end, hey, he's coming off a 4-year, $44 million contract where he won 2 MVPs and 2 NBA titles. Give the man his money. Steph Curry is now the highest paid player in the NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL, and he sure as hell deserves it. I know you guys have literally a million places you could watch this information, so I truly am grateful that you chose to watch it with me today. Thank you so much. If you like what you saw, follow me on social media at AmericasGB, and I will see you guys next time.